Today's a mystery box challenge. I'm definitely going to go with the octopus, but I also know that it has a fair reputation for being very, very rubbery if you don't get it right.
Colin,
Yes?
you've been brave, aren't you?
I am.
You're going the octopus. What are you doing with this?
Colin.
Belting it.
Now, Rachel, you've cooked octopus before.
I've cooked it a couple of times, not as big as this fellow.
What's the dish?
I'm just calling it grilled octopus on seared pears.
So basically, you need to get that octopus on soon and cook it, or the risk is...
Undercooking it.
We've only got 1 hour, but this technique takes time. And I've got to get that octopus cooked. But first of all, I've got to marinate the octopus because if I can get it into something acidic, that will allow time to tenderise it as well.
Love this! Nearly all of you are using the octopus. We're scared. 30 minutes to go.
Is yours hard to cut through? Are you going to peel it? I have no idea.
I've packed up the octopus and I'm going to do a chocolate fondant, which I should have done in the first place. There are elements that I really liked there for a sweet, and I thought, look, I should totally try this, and I know I could make it really beautiful, so why not go for that instead of the octopus that I don't think I could do perfectly? So I thought, let's give it a go.
I was quite surprised that most people going for octopus. I'm not too confident with my ability to do the octopus tentacles, so I decided to do the traditional Malaysian sponge cake. And the special thing about that sponge cake is there's no butter and there's no egg white at all. The sponge cake can go really wrong, it can go really flat, and it's not spongy. So it's very important to treat the sponge cake really, really delicately, because if you over-mix the flour, you will actually knock out the air from the egg yolk.
Emily, what's the dish?
I'm going to make an egg yolk sponge cake. So I'm going to cook it with wort juice, make it a syrup, and then blend into the thickened cream and make a cream base for my sponge cake.
Oh, yeah. Looking great. I love how you're really delicate with it. This could be a really lovely dish.
Thank you.
Everybody is going to go for the octopus, and I definitely want to do something different so that I can stand out. I'm doing a balsamic poached pear with a chocolate ganache and a crumble, and I'm just experimenting with a few other things. I'm not 100% sure yet how it's going to finish. The main thing I'm concerned with is making sure that my pear is cooked perfectly. Traditionally in MasterChef, there's a lot of undercooked hard pears, and that's something that I definitely want to avoid.
Having walked around, I still think it's a really tough mystery box. Which one do you pick? Do you go the octopus and test an idea, or do you go with something tried and true? You know, like a chocolate and a pear tart. There's a few chocolate tarts. Scott's doing a chocolate tart. Chashi's doing a chocolate tart.
Emily's doing a lovely egg yolk sponge cake, which is a Malaysian dish with a little boshy syrup over the top.
Yeah.
I love the sound of that.
Rachel, I really like what she's doing.
But she's made a marinade, though, with acid, hasn't
Yes,
she?
so she's
used
using
the
the
bear
acid to
jus.
break down the structure of the octopus. I am just so impressed. They have pulled it out so many different ways, and I know, you know, some of it just won't work, but they've learned something.
Sam, what's happening?
I'm making a chocolate fondant with whipped cream inside the pear.
Okay.
Good.
So when you say fondant, you mean a chocolate pudding that's gooey and soft in the middle?
Exactly.
You don't, have you looked at the clock?
Yeah, but I'm fine.
25 to go. A fondant that size, 12 minutes maybe, 14 minutes?
14.
Love a chocolate fondant, but the risk is what? Getting it out of the mould, overcooking it, undercooking it, breaks when you turn it out, all that.
Lots of risks, but probably not as many as if I cooked the octopus.
Chocolate fondant, 25 minutes to go.
I've got to make sure everything's right, so I've got to get that octopus on. I've got to allow it to sear on one side, get the markings, get the char. I'm really happy with the choice of the octopus because if I do it right, it should work.
I
I'm just making some parsley farfalle to go with my octopus. I extract the chlorophyll from the parsley and mix that through my pasta dough. For the octopus, I'll flash cook it on a really hot pan and then add in the vinacotta. Octopus is really hard to cook right, and so you can't overcook it, undercook it. I have a taste of the octopus. To me, it tastes good, so I'm pretty happy with everything so far.
You all seem to be cooking like you've got 8 arms. 15 minutes to go.
Has anyone got a tender piece yet? That is not right. That's like eating leather. It's terrible.
I get my fondant in the oven. I've got less than 15 minutes to go, but fondant needs between 12 and 16 minutes, depending on the oven. So I raise the temperature quite a lot in the hope that it will cook properly. I have no idea whether I'm going to get this done. It's right on the edge.
I have made the chocolate ganache tart before, but my pastry has never been a real hit, so I really wanted to go for it today.
Got my tart in the fridge, that's just cooling.
The majority of everyone today has done octopus, but I'm really happy and I've gone with the dessert. I think I've done a really good dish today.
All I can say is you want the advantage at the end of this mystery box. Win it, and you'll have it. 2 minutes to go.
Come on, guys.
Oh, wow. That looks amazing. Good job.
I know I've got to take my octopus off. It's getting really, really close, so I tasted it and it had a bit of a bounce, but it wasn't like chewing tar. As long as it's not chewing tar, I'm very happy.
30 seconds, guys.
So I get my fondant out of the oven and the fondant isn't cooked all the way through. I can see straight away that it won't stand up. It's collapsed. My fondant hasn't worked. This is terrible.
10 seconds to go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Tools down. Well done.
Well done, guys.
Well done.
That looks all right, mate.
Thanks, mate. Looks awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, the chlorophyll pasta looks good. It's green. Tastes a bit like parsley, which is what I wanted, just to add that parsley element to the octopus.
I hope Maggie believes in how I treated it and how it's turned out. I'm happy of the texture, but it's all in the cooking gods now.
We love a tricky mystery box, and I think that was your first. Octopus and chocolate. You had 1 hour to give us a delicious dish and impress Maggie. And of course, what's at stake here? An unbelievable advantage in the next challenge, the Invention Test.
I think winning any challenge is important. You never know what could be thrown at you in this competition, so having an advantage is massive.
We're looking for the top 5 dishes.
And the first dish we've chosen to taste is a dessert. And it's Kira's we'd like to see.
Can you just tell us what the dish is?
Vino cotta poached pear with a chocolate ganache.
It's poached in the vino cotto, and then I made an umeboshi pear jam, and then I've put the chocolate over the top so that you've got the salt and sweet, and then the umeboshi praline as well.
If those flavours work together, you could have a cracking dish on your hands.
I love the bay leaf on the pear.
It looks beautiful.
It
but
does
is it cooked?
indeed.
Come on, Maggie.
Come on, Maggie.
Okay.
Go, Maggie.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. Oh no, where I tested it, it was so soft.
It was hard to spoon out, but really, once I have it in the mouth, it's tender.
Okay.
For me, the pear's still got some resistance, but the combination of the chocolate and the buttered plum is beautiful. I think in terms of how it tastes and also how adventurous you've been, I think it's a really good effort.
And you keep putting yourself down as someone to watch.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
George. Next dish up is Sarah. I think it was obvious why we picked yours.
Why is
because
that?
it looks so pretty. Looks absolutely beautiful with these little green farfalle just pressed together so delicately. Tell us what it is.
So it's pan-seared octopus with the parsley farfalle and verjuice mayonnaise.
How many of you out there think Sarah's a threat when she can cook like that?
Oh my God.
The question is, I suppose, is whether or not the octopus is tender.
Yeah, exactly.
Maggie, ladies first.
I would love to. Look, the flavour is great. I love the pear with it. The octopus just hasn't quite made it.